Hello, Emma here from Old Town Hypnotherapy. And this week I want to ask you a question. Are you too sensitive? Do other people or other things upset you too much? Do problems in your family or work colleagues or your relationship, do you find you're thinking about it and worrying about it and letting it worry you? It could be that you are too sensitive. You see, what happens is when we worry about things, okay, we focus on the negative. And that negativity, our negative thinking that we're doing, that's what we create or convert rather into anxiety. And as our anxiety levels rise, what happens is we start moving from the intellectual part of our brain that's happy, confident, in control, secure, and calm. We start moving from that part of our brain down to this primitive part. I point this part to my head because the primitive part is actually down the back of your head and your intellectual part is on top. But we start moving from our intellectual part down to our primitive part. And our primitive part, the part that they call our caveman brain, is the part that we share with other animals that activates our fight or flight mechanism. And once that's activated, then we start producing adrenaline. And adrenaline in our flight or fight system gets us to focus on the problems. Now, your fight or flight systems are all about keeping you safe. They're about you, right? They're not about anybody else. So what happens is it will start to make everything about you. It will put you at the centre of attention. Okay, which might seem harmless, but it's doing more than that. When we are too sensitive about things, we will translate what is happening around us, what people are saying, what conversations are going in. We will translate it to being about us, right? Because, when this primitive brain came about, it was all about eat or be eaten, kill or be killed. So it is about you, it's about your survival. But it's not necessarily the right place or the appropriate part of your brain to be operating from. In fact, unless you are in some sort of crisis, emergency or danger, it's not the appropriate part of your brain to be operating from. As human beings, we've been given this intellectual part of our brain. It makes us uniquely human. It's what has helped us evolve into such a dominant species. It's the part of our brain that problem solves, comes up with solutions. It's the part that thinks rationally and intellectually. But if your anxiety levels have risen and you are working on this primitive part instead, your brain will think on all or nothing terms and it will make everything about you. For example, okay, you call a friend or a partner or something and they sound a bit offish on the phone. If you're working off this primitive part, you'll think in terms of, oh, they sounded a bit odd. Have I upset them? Have I said something that they didn't like? Are they annoyed with me? Have I done something that I don't? So you're making it about you, right? Now, reality is they might just be watching something on TV in the background, or they've got something else on their mind. You've perhaps rung them when they're focusing on something else. So their full attention is not on you. Now that's their problem, not yours. Perhaps they should have had their attention on you, but you can't control other people. You can only control how you deal with it. So instead of just not thinking about it or dismissing it, you'll start to worry if it's about you. A similar thing, say your boss calls you into a meeting at work and says, "Hey Emma, my name's Emma, can you come and see me at 2:00 this afternoon?" You'll go, "Oh, have I done something? Am I going to get told off? Have I forgotten to do something? Has something gone wrong?" And you'll put yourself at the centre of attention. In actual fact, it might be that your boss just wants you to take on something special, or do something, or they want to give you feedback about something lovely a client has said. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever your job is. But you see what I mean? Is initially you'll go, oh, and you'll go straight to the negative of thinking, oh, something as bad is going to happen to you. Right? Now that's a real indicator that you're working on this primitive brain. And you need to work out your way of being able to get back to your intellectual brain. Because when we're working on this intellectual brain, we don't let things like that bother us. We don't jump to these negative conclusions. We won't even think about it. We'll just go, yeah, okay, and we'll go and see the boss at 2 o'clock. So it's really important for you to be calm, in control, happy, relaxed, efficient, focused, and for you to be able to work off this intellectual brain. And the 3 ways you get there are positive thinking, positive interaction, and positive activity. Don't have time right now to go into all of those 3 and exactly what they are, but if you want to know more, you can write to me, or you can. There are courses that we provide at Old Town Hypnotherapy. If you haven't already, contact us and arrange for initial consultation, or you might want to do one of the e-courses or e-guides that we produce. But those are the 3 things, and the reason why is about the neurotransmitters you're producing, which again I'm not going to go into detail, but you can do it. But there is a way, and a good way for you, because we're all individual and we're all unique, and we all have different focuses and things that make us happy and tick. But it's what's right for you to help you operate at your best and let go of things like anxiety and depression. So that's it for this week. Are you too sensitive? Only you can answer that. But always feel free to get in touch. I'll see you next week.